The first thing I did after being reincarnated as a gecko was to swallow a 9-toothed golden silkworm on the verge of breaking its cocoon and becoming a god. But just as I was imagining my own ascent to godhood, Xia Yechu stumbled in by accident and dripped a drop of contract blood onto me. In his previous life, Xia Yechu was the female emperor of the human race and was besieged by several foreign emperors. Because the talent of his contract beast was too weak, he ended up dying at the hands of those foreign powerhouses. Now reborn, he set his sights on a 9-toothed golden silkworm with god-level talent to deal with future powerful foes. But just as he set up a formation and prepared to bond, I suddenly rushed out and swallowed the golden silkworm in one bite. As a result, his contract target was randomly switched to me. At that moment, Xia Chu felt as if the sky had fallen. He had finally been given a second chance at life and thought he could seize this opportunity to soar to the top. Never expected he'd end up contracted to a gecko. It's important to know that once a contract is established, there's no way to break it. Even though Xia Yechu was once a female emperor in his past life, making him use a common gecko as his contract beast would mean all the resources he poured in would go to waste. Meanwhile, after swallowing the 9-toothed golden silkworm, I was in a great mood, because right at the moment the silkworm entered my belly, a system notification exploded in my mind. Ding! Swallowed the juvenile 9-toothed golden silkworm. Gained 1,000 evolution points. All attributes significantly enhanced. Special trait unlocked. Body of 9 molts. Each time your life form evolves, you can select one body part for additional enhancement. Evolution points have met the requirement for advancement. Evolve now. I glanced at the furious Xia Yuchu and instantly screamed evolve in my mind. Meanwhile, after catching me, Xia Yuchu discovered the 9-toothed golden silkworm's aura had vanished completely. The guy was totally devastated. Did I get a second life, just to repeat the same tragedy as before? But in no time, the imperial pride in Xia Yuchu's eyes flared up anew. He rose to Emperor's peak, not by shortcuts, but with his own strength. If the beast-taming route doesn't work, then switch to ancient martial arts. But that path requires investing even more resources and enduring even greater hardship. With this in mind, Xia Yechu's gaze firmed up again. He grabbed me and held me up to his face. Sighed. Listen up. I don't know how you managed to eat my silkworm, but now that you're my life-bonded battle beast, you'll obey my rules. At that moment, I was in the delicate state right before evolution. My senses to the outside world very blurry, vaguely seeing only a pretty face, with a mouth that never stopped talking. So I focused hard and sent a thought over. Cut the crap. Go get me some food. Once I finish evolving, I'll treat you to good meals and good drinks. But my soul was still so weak that the thought barely made sense to Xie Youchu. After receiving the message,
he almost fainted on the spot.
Eat, 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 that's all you know. You just ate my golden silkworm, wasn't that enough? He fought the urge to squeeze me to death, then turned to leave. From today on, you'll stay in this isolation room, not allowed to leave even a step. I'll give you basic food, let you live for now. If you dare step out or make trouble, I'll risk soul damage, just to get rid of you. After Xia Youchu left, the energy in my body instantly surged violently. Indescribable pain drilling outward from my bones. I gasped in pain, and right after that, my body started to swell before my eyes, like a baby dinosaur just hatched from its egg. Special trait detected, body of 9 molts. For this evolution, you may select an additional body part for enhancement. I kept my eyes fixed on the updated system panel, my heart blazing with excitement. Just the first evolution, and all my attributes had shot up more than tenfold. I was only 95 points away from the next evolution. Evolution points. Swallowing those 9 golden silkworms really paid off. The most important part is, this evolution just gave me Godzilla's signature ability, the atomic breath. I quickly channeled a faint heat flow inside me, focused it in my throat, and the next instant, a small puff of orange flame squeezed out of my mouth and went out in less than half a second. Looks like before the energy core is activated. This skill is basically just a lighter. No way I can use it for fighting yet. I turned my attention back to the system choices. Godzilla's power comes from devouring, digesting, and absorbing. This is the very core. Currently, my devour talent is just basic. So enhancing a digestive organ would maximize the effect of this golden perk. Without hesitation, I chose to upgrade my stomach. Seconds later, the strange sensation returned as the change began, and I could feel my stomach contracting and expanding. A few minutes later, the enhancement process finished, and I got another system notification. Thanks to strengthening my stomach, my devour talent actually leveled up. I was overjoyed internally. With my upgraded stomach, I could digest even rocks and metal now. Naturally, I thought of atomic breath again. Atomic breath is related to the energy core, and the energy core is tied to the body. That being so, my direction was suddenly clear. For future enhancements, I should focus on activating the energy core quickly, and at the same time, continue to upgrade digestion and devouring abilities, with just 95 more points to the next evolution. I was fired up, and immediately wanted to find something to eat. I raised my head, eyes scanning the isolation room. Previously, I was just catching bugs, so I hadn't paid attention. This room looks ancient, but the materials used are extraordinary. The walls are made from some kind of dark stone. Feels icy and hard to the touch. The floor is the same material. I went to the wall and took a bite, but didn't taste anything special. Ding, swallowed obsidian brick. Evolution point plus 0.1. Stamina slightly increased. I was delighted. Turns out this isolation room is made of obsidian, with this much lining the room, even if it's just 0.1 at a time. Adding it all up should equal quite a lot of evolution points. Thinking this, I started gorging myself on the walls. Half an hour later, the once spotless base of the walls was now full of holes and dents. I felt full in my stomach, so I paused to check my status panel. Almost all my attributes had gone up by about 1 point each. Only 35 points left till the next evolution. I let out a satisfied burp, then looked at the tightly closed stone door. Started gnawing on it vigorously again. After I'd finished eating the entire door, I squeezed myself outside. Outside is a corridor. It's also built with obsidian bricks. I didn't hesitate at all. I kept gnawing along the base of the corridor wall. While I was gnawing at the corridor walls, I gathered some information through Soul Link and his muttering, piecing together bits here and there. That girl named Xia Yachu seems to be a reincarnator. She was an empress in her previous life. Wow. I accidentally ate her hope of living a second life. I bet now he just wants to lock me up as a decoration and give up the path of beast mastery. Too bad, lady. You have no idea about this lizard's potential. Just wait until I grow. All that nonsense about the winged tribe or the border. One atomic breath. I'll blow them all away for you. Just as I was getting carried away, a faint noise and commotion filtered through the stone walls. I pondered to myself. Sounds really lively upstairs, and I think I sensed the presence where the drugs were placed. At the same time, there were also waves of malicious emotions. I adjusted direction and gnawed my way upward. Soon I got close to the source of the voices. At this moment, Xiaochu was standing right at the center of the hall, surrounded by the family elders. They all looked at him with dissatisfaction. Standing across from him was a young man. It was the family grand elder's grandson, Xia Lingfeng. He was stroking the fur of a golden Tibetan mastiff at his feet, looking at Xia Yochu with a mocking gaze. Little sister Yochu, wait a second. Big brother says, how many resources did the family spend on your beast? Just for your contracted war beast. But now you say your beast had an accident. What kind of accident? Could turn a beast cub with limitless potential into a gecko with no energy fluctuation at all? And now you want to tell us you're giving up the path of beast mastery to switch to motivational arts, which is already proven to be a dead end, wasting so much of the Xia family's resources. Tell me, how am I supposed to maintain our Xia family reputation? Upon hearing this, the Xia family head Xia Yuan, sitting at the main seat, glanced at Xia Lingfeng. Yachu has his own considerations. The resources are spent. That's that. The Xia family can still handle it. Xia Lingfeng sneered. Handle it, huh? Uncle, I know you love your daughter, but isn't this favoritism a bit much? If those resources were put into my golden Tibetan mastiff, given time, We could add another king-level power to the Xia family. Way better than just throwing them away. Xia Yachu lifted her head. Taking a deep breath, I used the resources. I'll bear the consequences myself. Besides, beast mastery isn't the only path to greatness. Even if I don't take that road, I, Xia Yachu, can still reach the heavens and protect the Xie family. As soon as she finished, Xia Lingfeng couldn't help but burst out laughing. Yachu, you think motivational arts will let you reach the heavens? Did something happen to you lately? Mess up your head? The golden Tibetan mastiff at his side also let out a timely low growl. Full of menace, the voices of doubt grew louder. Xia Yachu pressed her lips tightly. She didn't argue anymore. Seeing all this happen, I felt a bit annoyed for reasons unclear. Though Xia Yachu is fierce, she's still my contract holder after all. And that Xia Lingfeng really looks like he needs a beating. Right then, Xia Yachu's thoughts echoed again. Xia Lingfeng, you traitor. In another 3 years, you'll sell out the family for power, secretly conspiring with the Nether clan, leading to the deaths of the 2 Yuan emperor elders. Father will also be seriously injured. If it wasn't for me turning the tide later, the Xie family would have ceased to exist. If only I had proof now, I'd expose your hypocrisy.
Hearing this,
I was a bit shocked, even though my goal is the stars and the sea. As a former human, I naturally abhor such traitorous behavior. Looking at Xia Lingfeng's smug face, and the golden Tibetan mastiff showing its teeth at Xia Yachu, I immediately had an idea. If I eat all the walls here, I'll probably have enough evolution points for another upgrade. But before that, I don't mind collecting a little interest first. The family meeting ended in discord, under the heavy pressure of Xie Lingfeng and the grand elder behind him. Even Xia Yuan's speeches couldn't calm the anger of the whole group. Finally, they decided to suspend all high-level resources for Xia Yachu. She'd need to provide her own training materials from now on. As a punishment, learning this, Xia Feng was delighted. Xia Yachu, ever since you were little, the whole family treated you like a golden egg. Now go ahead and hug your gecko. Practice those ridiculous motivational arts. Thinking of this, he laughed out loud a few times. He casually took out some pure energy stones and a bowl of beast milk, and fed them to the golden Tibetan mastiff.
eat up, little gold.
Once you become a king beast, let's see who dares challenge me. Then Xia Lingfeng went back to the Forbidden's chamber and started meditating and training, but he had no clue at all that in the shadow of his room, there was an inconspicuous little hole. I widened my eyes, peering through the little hole at everything in the room, especially when I saw those energy stones and beast milk. My stomach couldn't help rumbling. Is this what energy stones look like? Looks so full of energy. That beast milk smells pretty good too. And that golden puppy looks like its meat is tender. I silently slipped out from the wall hole, just as the golden Tibetan mastiff lowered its head to drink milk. I quickly crawled beside the energy stones and swallowed one right down. Ding! Devoured a low-grade energy stone. Evolution points plus 15. Seeing this, I was delighted. Hardly took a few more bites. The energy stone dissolved, flooding my body with pure power. Evolution points instantly reached 1,000. Even though I met the conditions to evolve, I didn't choose to evolve yet. Instead, I crawled quickly to the bowl of beast milk, buried my head straight into the bowl. Right then, the golden Tibetan mastiff finally realized something was off. He had only drunk 2 sips. How was the bowl empty already? He tilted his head in confusion, and seeing the falling milk level, and spotting me licking the bottom of the bowl, the golden Tibetan mastiff let out an angry low growl. Though still a pup, as a top tactical haoyi, he's got quite a temper. A faint golden arc sparked on his sharp teeth. He lunged straight at me. Luckily, I reacted fast, jumped up on the spot, landing right on his head, dodged the pounce. I lay on top of the golden Tibetan mastiff's head. Looking at that tender white skin, I decided to take a bite. No matter how hard I try, I can only leave a white mark on him. With skin that thick, I can't even bite through it. The golden Tibetan mastiff saw I'm still fighting back, and angrily shook its head from side to side. Golden arcs of electricity flashed once again. It wanted to hit me again. I let out a cold snort. You beast! You still dare to bare your teeth at me. Believe it or not, I'll bite your butt with a lighter. I dodged its bite again, stepped behind the golden mastiff, then opened my jaws wide. A burst of orange-red atomic breath hit the golden Tibetan mastiff right on its butt. All you could hear was a howl. The golden Tibetan mastiff let out a shrill and miserable cry. The fur on its butt instantly caught fire. It spun in place, trying to put out the fire on its behind. Now there was visible fear in its eyes as it looked at me. It didn't dare rush me anymore. I grinned slyly. If I can't eat you, I can at least torture you. I looked at the golden Tibetan mastiff's shiny coat. My eyes suddenly lit up. So I approached it again. But this time I didn't bite its flesh. Instead, I started munching on its fur. Ding, devouring golden Tibetan mastiff's fleece. Evolution point +1. It wasn't long before. Its fur was patchy all over, chewed by me. He stared at the golden fur falling off, and the burning pain in his butt. Finally, with a loud wail, cried pitifully, curled up and shivering in the corner. Seeing this, I nodded with satisfaction, glanced around the room. Anything edible went into my belly. When Xia Lingfeng finished his training session, all he saw was a mess. The primal stones were gone. The milk bowl was empty. Xiaojin's fur was patchy.
His butt was scorched black.
Curled up in the corner, crying. This scene made Xia Lingfeng tremble with rage. Xiaojian, who did this to you? He frantically searched the whole room. In the end, only found a tiny inconspicuous hole in the wall. And the culprit was already long gone. On the other side, Xia Yechu was just about to go to my cell to bring me food, though she'd just lost access to resources, which messed with her mood. She was mentally prepared and quickly calmed herself, but before she could even catch her breath, her heart suddenly sank. Why is my door gone? She stepped into the mirror room in disbelief. It looked like the entire place had been bombed. But the most important thing, the gecko was gone. Her pupils narrowed sharply. Losing your bonded battle beast isn't just like missing a pet. It's directly tied to her own life. Thinking of this, she started searching the room. When she crouched down for a closer look, she found a small hole in the wall. The markings were fresh, with jagged edges, as if something had chewed it out with its own teeth. That gecko actually bit through an obsidian brick. Maybe after swallowing the golden cicada, he underwent some unknown mutation and gained the ability to chew through materials. But where did he go? Just as Xia Yuochu was about to search outside, a faint noise came from the hole. She jerked her head around, saw a gecko crawling slowly out of the hole. Now, I was noticeably larger than before, almost the size of an adult's palm. My previously gray skin now had a stony sheen. I glanced at Xia Yuochu, then crawled to the cushion and got ready to sleep. Xia Yuochu looked at me. I looked as if I didn't have a care in the world. She didn't even know how to react for a moment. She quickly walked over to the hole, trying to check inside, but it was pitch black. No end in sight. She paused for a bit, found a stone nearby, and temporarily blocked the hole, then walked up to me. Where did you just go? I ignored her. Now, my evolution points are overflowing. As soon as I digest the food in my belly, I can start evolving for the second time. Xia Yuochu looked helplessly at me and let out a resigned sigh. Don't run off anymore. It's dangerous out there. Just stay here and behave. At least you might survive. After she finished speaking, she felt a simple message come through their soul bond. I'm full and satisfied. Whatever hope she just had immediately faded again. Maybe there's some mutation, but he's nowhere close to being a true divine beast. Still a long way to go. In the end, I'll still have to rely on myself. She left the cell again. After she left, I opened my eyes. Woman, you don't know anything about power. Just wait. Next time you see me, you'll realize just how wrong you were. System, initiate second evolution. Intense pain swept through my body again. This time it was even fiercer than the first evolution. My once palm-sized body began to grow rapidly with cracking sounds, quickly reaching nearly a foot long. Strength surged through me. I felt like I could easily tear my old self apart. I looked at the 9 body transformation options. Didn't hesitate as much this time. Chose to strengthen my energy core. A completely new feeling surged from deep in my chest. No longer just simple pain, but a burning sensation, as if a miniature sun had just ignited inside me. My heart raced with excitement. Finally, a proper attack skill. Even if it's just basic, from the description, it's already shown signs of signature moves. Second evolution complete. My power increased dramatically, and I've gained a powerful new skill, but a stronger sense of hunger followed. I need to find more food. I ate everything edible in the room. Now I'm only 200 points away from evolving again. I may be stronger now, but I'm still in my juvenile phase. If I wander aimlessly, I'll be killed by some strong opponent. So I plan to find Xiaoyu Chu. Stick with that woman. She should have good food, right? I suddenly jumped out from the bush, landed accurately in her arms, tugged at Xiaoyu Chu's collar, sending her a clear message to feed me. She took a deep breath, reminded herself to keep calm. This is my bonded war beast. Can't strangle it. Xiaoyu Chu returned to her room, placed 100 mid-tier primal stones and 3 spiritual ginseng roots on the table. She glanced at me, sleeping soundly. Can I count on you? A second chance at life. Starting on hell mode, with resources cut off, and the future uncertain. In her past life, she'd obtained a special technique, called heaven-devouring demonic art. This technique absorbed the life essence of other beings, making it one's own. It's fast to cultivate, but extremely resource-hungry. Last life as an empress, she had her own pride and bottom line, so she didn't practice such a demonic art. But in this life, Xiaoyu Chu clenched her fists. Bottom lines are only for the strong. Her family's too risky to stay with anymore. Staying here would just hold her back. Next morning, while she was packing her things, she found her 100 mid-tier primal stones were missing. At that moment, a loud burp escaped from my mouth. Xiaoyu Chu finally snapped. She shook me until I was dizzy. But in the end, she still didn't strangle me. Just think of it as feeding a dog. Xiaoyu Chu went to Yun City No. 1 high school where she studied. Planning to withdraw from school, she knew that without resources now, her only hope to transform was to head to the chaotic borderlands overrun by beasts. Xia Yuking heard her battle beast was just a gecko. Isn't that basically a waste? What a shame. She used to be the pride of our school. Xiaoyu Chu ignored all the gossip and headed straight to the academic office. I scanned my surroundings. That grand building in the distance seems to have a denser energy reaction than the others. Not long after, I collapsed that building by eating it. That was the principal's office building. Some students screamed. The scene instantly descended into chaos. Xiaoyu Chu was momentarily stunned as well. She looked at the collapsed office building. A hint of doubt flashed in her eyes. It seemed like he sensed something. He looked down at the pouch at his waist. At some unknown time, a small hole had appeared at the bottom of the pouch. Could it be he suddenly looked up? Looking at the office building now reduced to rubble. It seems this dumb gecko actually has some tricks up its sleeve. I let out a satisfied burp. Finally, my evolution points broke past the 2000 mark. I was in a great mood. Time for my next evolution. I curled up my body, enduring the intense shock brought by my third evolution. My body expanded even more in agony. From about 1 foot long before, it suddenly grew to nearly half a meter. Once evolution was complete, my stats saw another huge boost. Plus I got 2 new passive skills at once. I was quite pleased. The super armor instantly boosted my survivability. Energy sense worked almost like biological radar. It lets me detect prey or danger in advance. I looked at the limb options for the 9-year-old form. My gaze fell on the sharp teeth. Devouring is the core of his evolution, so having a good set of teeth is crucial. Let's enhance my teeth. I want to eat faster and more fiercely. Selection confirmed. Beginning extra enhancement on the designated area. A sharp, tingling pain filled my mouth. It was like countless little files were grinding my teeth down. Ding! Innate devour affected by enhanced area, sharp teeth. Effect improved. Ding! Gained skill. Tier. Affected by enhanced area, sharp teeth. Chewing and tearing are now more effective. They can break down structures more efficiently and absorb energy from them. Deals increased damage to sturdy targets when devouring hard materials. Conversion efficiency is slightly improved. It directly gave me biting efficiency and also improved devouring efficiency. I flexed my jaw with satisfaction. feeling the clang as my teeth knocked together. I felt I could bite through steel plates with a single chomp. Downstream, at the edge of the school grounds, standing under a big tree, looking at the chaos from afar. Before long, I emerged from the ground nearby. After swallowing that crimson gold silkworm, sure enough, this guy mutated. And this mutation is happening way too fast. The elemental force can't even penetrate the weasel pelt. The city guard's sharp whistles had already sounded. Xia Yechu immediately turned around, merging into the increasingly restless crowd. She quickly left the school grounds. He took me to the Wilderness Explorer Guild outpost just outside the city. The guild outpost was crowded with people, filled with all sorts of intimidating auras. Some people were accompanied by ferocious war beasts. Some people carried huge weapons on their backs. A delicate girl like Xia Yechu, bringing a baby lizard with her, really stood out. A lot of eyes turned toward us, full of scrutiny and curiosity, and even some hostility. Xia Yechu ignored these stares and walked straight to the registration window. Very soon, a staff member handed over a rough iron badge. There was a simple number on it. Xia Yechu accepted the badge and turned toward the mission screen. Points could be exchanged for all sorts of resources at the guild vault, including martial arts manuals, weapons, and elixirs. There were even rare beast cubs or primordial stones available. He picked a bluebird and an outer Blackwind Valley Crypt spider mission. Let's go. Our hunt starts now. One person and one beast officially set out on their journey. The figure of Xia Yechu shuttled between craggy rocks and withered trees. The ordinary longsword in her hand flickered with icy cold light. With a flash of her sword, a crypt spider was instantly killed. The green branches and leaves fell with a twitch. A surge of invisible suction streamed from his palm, enveloping the spider's corpse. A huge amount of life energy was forcefully extracted from the corpse, and it surged into his body along his meridians. He could feel his elemental force changing under the magic art's effects, taking on a touch of coldness. The overall quantity was rising quickly. It actually works, though the process is painful. The speed of progress is far better than following the usual cultivation practice. It was almost as good as in his previous life, when he'd contracted with the Moonlight Volf, his training speed. I was lying bored on the ground, gnawing absently on the spider that he'd just drained dry, devouring the crypt spider remains. Energy depleted. Gained 0.5 evolution points. Stamina increased by 0.01. This girl is way too fast. Every time, what's left for me is just dry bones and carapace. I sent out a disgruntled message through thoughts. Why does a gecko like you have to eat so much meat? Can you even digest it all? Those bones and shells are enough for you to chew on. I can digest rocks and steel. So what's a few pieces of meat? I was so mad I wanted to blast Xia Yechu with my atomic breath, but decided to hold it in. Stingy. Just wait till I'm powerful one day. I'll make you eat nothing but bones too. Xia Yechu looked at me with outright disgust and continued exploring ahead, but she barely took 2 steps when a fierce presence suddenly rushed forth. Xia Yechu turned pale. How is there a demon beast of demon soldier level in this area? A demon soldier is about as strong as a human primal realm cultivator. Right now, he's only a level 3 origin practitioner. If he faces a demon soldier, it's certain death. He didn't hesitate to turn and run, sprinting toward the outskirts of Blackwind Valley, secretly cursing me out in his mind. This greedy, cowardly, dumb gecko runs fastest when things get dangerous. The demon soldier's aura was getting closer. Xia Yechu decided to risk it all. A scorching red light struck that shadow precisely. Xia Yechu took the chance to pull away, looking in shock toward the direction of the incoming fire. The newcomer was Zhao Mengmeng, the only daughter of the Wilderness Explorer Guild's president. At just 20, she's already in the primal realm. Her 9-star bonded beast, the Scarlet Flame Volf, has even reached late-stage demon soldier level. She walked up to Xia Yechu, looking him over from head to toe. Her gaze was full of open impatience. So you're Xia Yechu, that famous heiress from the Xie family? Xia Yechu frowned slightly. That's me. Thank you, Miss Zhao, for your help. No need to thank me. Zhao Mengmeng waved it off. Seriously, You sons and daughters of big families. Could you stop being so dramatic? Why don't you just stay safe in the city, instead of running off into the wilderness? Do you realize, every time you act on a whim, people like us down here have to run around to clean up your mess? Xia Yachu replied coldly. I have my own goals. I owe you one for today. I'll repay the favor in the future. Xia Yachu turned to leave immediately, but Zhao Mengmeng quickly caught up. Xia Yachu folded her arms. Who said I want to protect you? You think I actually want to follow you? If it weren't for my dad's strict orders, he said if you lose a single hair, he'll skin me alive. I couldn't care less if you live or die. Do whatever you want. I'll just trail behind you. Just pretend I don't exist. With Zhao Mengmeng keeping an eye on him, how could he possibly activate the devouring heaven demon technique? Meanwhile, I have no idea that I'm currently being stalked by a former empress. Cricket is having the time of its life right now. I'm happily munching on a newly hunted spider. Devouring the cave spider grants 5 evolution points. Strength plus 0.1. Agility plus 0.5. Just then, a massive cave spider suddenly appears right in front of me. Without saying a word, it opens its jaws and spits out a stream of purple venom. I don't dodge or flinch. The venom hits me but doesn't even leave a mark. Passive skill. Super armor activates. The bit of corrosive energy is instantly neutralized. Seeing this, I smirked. I power up my hind legs and instantly appear before the spider leader. Before it can even react, my tail lashes out like a steel whip, slamming the spider leader's head, sending its massive body flying. Fluids splatter everywhere. Looks like it's done for. I walk over, open my massive jaws, and devour the spider. Leader devoured. Gain 50 evolution points. Strength 5. Endurance plus 5. Spirit plus 5. Acquired passive skill. Poison resistance. A wave of heat spreads throughout my body. I feel my power surge again. My whole body feels great. This is what Godzilla's life should be like. I glance at my attribute panel. I've accumulated 320 evolution points. It's still a long way from my next evolution. But at this pace, it shouldn't take much longer. I continue my hunting journey. Xia Shaochu felt her patience was being worn thin bit by Zhao Mengmeng. He even suspected that Zhao Mengmeng's soul beast wasn't really the Crimson Flame Wolf, but rather some parrot specialized in mental attacks. Zhao Mengmeng yawned and said, Hey, Miss Xia, what exactly are you searching for? You've almost scoured the entire perimeter, except for those dumb spiders. There's nothing at all. If we go any deeper, it's the real danger zone. I'm not sure I can handle it. That's exactly what he's waiting for, danger. According to his past life's memories, deep within Blackwind Valley lies a small ancient ruin. At the entrance inside, there are remnants of some ancient cultivators' inheritance and resources. There are also natural wards and labyrinths left in there. It's the perfect place to shake off Zhao Mengmeng, this persistent tagalong. I want to go inside and check it out. Xia Yachu pointed deeper into Blackwind Valley. The mist there was even thicker, and the lighting much dimmer. Zhao Mengmeng raised her eyebrows. You sure about going in there? The beasts in there aren't like these cave spiders. There might be demon soldiers, or even late stage, maybe demon general level monsters. Xia Yachu replied flatly. If you're scared, you don't have to come. With that, she headed deeper inside. Zhao Mengmeng watched her back, pouted, but still followed along, patting the Crimson Flame Wolf on the head. Get ready, looks like this job won't be so boring after all. Meanwhile, in another part of Blackwind Valley, I was feasting on a rock giant lizard I just tore apart, devouring happily. Devoured flame armor lizard, evolution points plus 80, strength 8, stamina plus 10, acquired passive skill, hardened skin. Evolution points broke the 600 mark too. I could feel my strength grow once again, and my skin became even tougher. That woman was still scavenging in the outskirts, while I'm having a feast over here. What a profit. I was feeling quite pleased with myself, when suddenly, I sensed a trace of extremely high-quality energy through the soul link. That woman is trying to eat on the sly. No way, I'm letting her keep the good stuff for herself. I followed that sensation immediately. rushing as fast as I could in that direction, relying on memories from a previous life. Xia Yochu stopped in front of an area covered in vines and short, rocky walls. She halted her steps. She circulated the newly transformed magic energy inside her body, snapped her fingers, and a deep cave entrance appeared in the rock wall. A surge of pure, ancient spiritual energy began to drift out of the cave's mouth. Zhao Mengmeng looked shocked. An ancient ruins entrance. How did you know there was a ruin entrance here? Xia Yochu remained composed and replied calmly. Good luck. I stumbled upon it in an old book. Of course he wasn't about to admit he was reincarnated. Suspicion flashed in Zhao Mengmeng's eyes. But clearly she didn't buy it. Still, now wasn't the time to dig into this. An undiscovered ruin meant opportunity. Sure, she's the guild master's daughter. But resources don't grow on trees. Zhao Mengmeng immediately changed her attitude, sidling closer to Tia Yochu. Hey, Yochu sis. Since we found this ruin together, finders keepers, right? And I did just save your life, you know? Xia Yochu glanced at her, sneered inwardly. A moment ago she was grumbling about trouble. Now it's Sister Yochu. Still, she didn't want the rewards all for herself. First, Zhao Mengmeng's strength was needed to handle any potential dangers inside the ruins. And losing her completely wasn't realistic anymore. Might as well team up for now. Each getting what they can. Xia Yochu still replied indifferently. It's unknown what's inside, but if we explore together, we might gain something. Each relying on our own abilities. Works for me, what are we waiting for? Let's get in there already. The two entered the cave, and not long after, a dark shadow also slipped in. Once inside the ruin, I was immediately confronted by a level 3 dragon lizard, which charged at me head-on. I stood my ground. The energy core in my chest lit up and spun rapidly. From deep in my throat, a dark red light gathered. Suddenly, I opened my jaws wide, and a bowl-sized beam of dark red energy shot out. The breath blasted straight through the dragon lizard's huge head, blasting out the back of its skull. The dragon lizard crashed to the ground, dead on the spot. I quickly moved in and devoured it in a few bites. Devoured level 3 dragon lizard. Evolution points 150. Strength plus 10. Stamina plus 20. A massive wave of heat exploded in my body, my strength and defense spiking once again. Xia Yochu relied on past life experience to make her way to the core area. There grew a ripe dragon fruit essence. Not only could it enhance spiritual power, but it also worked wonders for breaking through to the next rank, especially ideal for cultivators below the king level. It was practically made for her. But just as she was about to pick it, a beast guardian appeared, blocking her way. Clearly, that was the guardian of the dragon fruit. And when she entered the ruins, she and Zhao Mengmeng had already separated. Her mind raced, searching for a solution. Meanwhile, in another part of the ruins, Zhao Mengmeng felt cursed with bad luck. First chased by bats, then she fell into a swamp, barely got out, only to run into yet another demon soldier, a mid-stage swamp giant crocodile. She barely managed to drive back the croc, but got lightly injured herself. Her spiritual power was nearly depleted. What kind of messed up ruin is this? Why is it so out to get me? Just as she was dashing around like a headless chicken, she happened to spot me being besieged by 3 demon soldiers, late-stage monsters, and I took all 3 out in just a couple of moves. What kind of beast is that? That was terrifying. Definitely stronger than any demon soldier. Could it be a demon general? She was scared out of her wits, and her first instinct was to run. But as she was backing up, she accidentally kicked a pebble. I was enjoying my victory feast, but suddenly looked up sharply, locking onto Zhao Mengmeng's hiding spot. With my energy senses, I detected a pretty strong human life signal. And further away, a horde of monsters rapidly approaching. My eyes lit up, and I charged straight at Zhao Mengmeng. Zhao Mengmeng was so frightened her face turned pale. In a flash, she drew her odd-looking longbow, and with what little power she had left, poured it all in. A flaming arrow, fueled by her remaining strength, shot straight at me. But in the next second, the arrow just clinked off and hit the ground. Mengmeng saw that her strongest attack didn't even scratch my skin. She was utterly hopeless, closing her eyes and waiting for death, but I didn't even spare her a glance. I rushed right past him and lunged further back, toward those beasts radiating enticing energy waves. I let out an excited roar and charged into the group of crabs. Zhao Mingming, who had closed his eyes waiting for death, waited a while and didn't feel any pain, cautiously opened his eyes. Then, he witnessed a scene that shattered his worldview. That terrifying unknown beast was single-handedly slaughtering that group of troublesome fire scorpions. He was not allied with the earth fire scorpions. Is he actually protecting me? He stared at my fierce, yet somehow strangely beautiful fighting stance, feeling pure power surging toward him. Along with a destructive aura, his cheeks inexplicably grew warm. At this moment, Xia Yaochu was still confronting the armored earth dragon beast. Xia Yaochu recalled his previous life and the scattered records about this kind of beast. Though the armored earth dragon beast is extremely tough, it is vulnerable to attacks on the spiritual level, and the dragon fruit contains pure spiritual energy. A flash passed through Xia Yaochu's eyes, burning his soul essence as the price. He forcibly stimulated his source spirit to unleash a psychic shock. The earth dragon beast that got struck was instantly thrown into temporary chaos. Right at that moment, Xia Yaochu charged toward the dragon fruit. But just as he was about to grab the dragon fruit, I emerged ahead of him, bursting out of the ground, and swallowed the fruit in one bite before Xia Yaochu could reach it.
His outstretched hand froze in midair.
The joy and anticipation on his face instantly vanished, turning into utter shock and disbelief. Devouring the dragon fruit granted 500 evolution points. Spirit plus 50 and received a special status. Mind feels refreshed. A vast, overwhelming spiritual energy instantly exploded in my mind. All my fatigue from continuous battles disappeared. This fruit really packs a punch. I turned my head and saw Xia Yaochu beside me glaring like she wanted to kill someone. Xia Yaochu looked at me with a face full of satisfaction, like he'd just eaten something delicious. He even wore an innocent expression, as if saying, "You're too late." He almost fainted from anger on the spot. He had risked damaging his own soul. It was just about to be his. But the dragon raspberry, crucial for his early cultivation foundation, was gone. His own contracted battle beast swallowed it in one gulp. He, the dignified empress, had been screwed over twice by a dumb, stupid tiger. Right at that moment, the armored earth dragon beast snapped back to consciousness, sensing that the dragon raspberry was gone. It instantly went berserk. It unleashed its full power with no more restraint. The terrifying aura of a peak demon soldier erupted completely. Its massive body charged at us with unstoppable force. It barreled toward us. Xia Yaochu's expression changed dramatically. The backlash from burning his soul had seriously weakened Xia Yaochu. He simply couldn't resist the dragon beast's furious blow anymore. He glanced at me while I still seemed to be savoring the taste. His heart turned ice cold. All this gecko does is eat. What else can it do? Did Xia Yaochu really come back to life, full of ambition, only to end up dying here so pathetically? To be killed thanks to his own battle beast's screw-up? A fierce will to survive, combined with his pride as the former empress, forced him to suppress soul-wrenching agony and physical weakness. A flash of resolve appeared in his eyes, and he tried to use an even more costly forbiddance technique, gambling for the slimmest chance of survival. But I suddenly rushed in front of him, heading straight toward the earth dragon beast. I opened my mouth and unleashed a torrent. It poured directly into the earth dragon beast, right through its wide-open jaws. The earth dragon beast's charge came to a sudden halt. It exploded instantly. Xia Yaochu stood frozen in place, staring blankly at the scene before him. A peak demon soldier-class armored earth dragon beast was killed in seconds by his contracted gecko. What kind of gecko is this? Xia Yaochu stared at me, at my menacing yet oddly dignified profile. Did I just luck out and get a treasure? Sure, it's a disaster magnet, but it sure can fight. I ignored Xia Yaochu, who was still in shock and self-doubt. I walked over to the pile of burning meat scraps and began devouring them skillfully. Devoured the remains of the armored earth dragon beast. Evolution points plus 300. Strength plus 30. Stamina plus 35. Gained passive skill. Armored. I looked at my upgraded stats panel, feeling quite pleased. Evolution points are now at 1,920. Almost halfway there. At this rate, I'll reach the next evolution soon. Xia Yachu watched me feast, forced to just stare and watch me eat and eat. All you do is eat. Why don't you choke for once? Randomly, an even more depressing thought popped into his head. Why is there no feedback at all? Every time a battle beast improves, their evolution always benefits the beastmaster. But this gecko, aside from the faint feeling from the soul link, offered nothing else. Is it because it's still essentially a normal beast? So it doesn't have any ability to give back? But what normal beast grows this big? Or can spit out such destructive energy? Or is this dumb gecko's evolution path just messed up? It only grows bigger and eats more, but doesn't produce energy to give back. What's going on? The more Xiaoyachu thought about it, the more frustrated he got. He even secretly tried to activate the devouring demon technique, only for it to be snuffed out instantly. Xiaoyachu felt powerless. Can't beat it. Can't drink from it. The contract may as well not exist. Just as Xiaoyachu was about to drown in endless complaints, I opened my mouth and spat out the armored earth dragon beast skeleton. I sent Xiaoyachu a clear thought: you eat. Eat your own damn stuff. What's the point of this besides being tough? I couldn't be bothered with him anymore, so I turned and sent one last thought: don't move from here. I'll go find you something else to chew on. With that, I vanished, leaving Xiaoyachu alone, dazed and confused. At that moment, a figure suddenly appeared. It was Xiao Mengmeng. Her gaze first landed on Xiaoyachu, then on the ground by his feet, where a massive intact skeleton lay. That's a peak demon soldier class ironclad earth dragon beast. Xiao Mengmeng's eyes returned to Xiaoyachu, full of stunned disbelief. This guy is just a rank 3 origin. I've heard that his contracted beast is a useless gecko, and yet he instantly killed a peak demon soldier class ironclad earth dragon beast. The way she looked at Xiaoyachu completely changed. All past contempt and disdain instantly turned into deep wariness. Xiaoyachu noticed Zhao Mengmeng's reaction clearly and instantly understood what was happening, letting Zhao Mengmeng think that saves him a lot of trouble. With that thought, Xiaoyachu decided to just go along. He glanced indifferently at Xiao Mengmeng and calmly said, Miss Zhao, do you need something? Zhao Mengmeng gave an awkward laugh, her eyes drifting back to the skeleton. She cautiously asked, was this your handiwork, little sister? Truly astonishing. There's nothing of value here. Let's go. In an instant, Zhao Mengmeng's attitude became extremely respectful, even a little fawning. Sister Yachu is right. Please go ahead, little sister. I'll follow behind you, and I absolutely won't get in your way. Each with their own thoughts, they continued on in silence. They followed the passage deeper inside. After passing through a massive stone gate, they arrived in a palace. At the center of the hall, there were 2 stone pedestals faintly glowing. Each pedestal had one thing floating above it, both appearing to be beast eggs. One egg seemed to be the offspring of an earth element demon beast. Beside the stone pedestal, there was an iron body severing technique and an earth spike technique. Neither was very high grade. Xiaoyachu just glanced at them and looked away. Zhao Mengmeng checked them out as well, her face showing a hint of excitement. Mid-grade profound class. This is a windfall. And even an ancient beast's egg, though it can't be hatched now. It'll still fetch a good price. A profound rank technique like this is enough to be a clan treasure for a mid-sized family outside. Xiaoyachu said, if you want them, take them all. Zhao Mengmeng replied politely. Are you sure? That's not really fair to you, since you found this place. Seeing how indifferent Xiaoyachu was, Zhao Mengmeng was once again shocked. Thank you, Sister Yachu. Zhao Mengmeng stopped hesitating and happily stepped forward to collect these small but valuable rewards. As expected, I suddenly appeared again and swallowed everything floating on the pedestals in one gulp. Devoured the inheritance jade scroll. Evolution points plus 40. Spirit plus 4. Devoured the petrified beast king egg. Evolution points 5. Stamina plus 1. Devour low-quality pills. Evolution points +2. Devour the Quercus rock platform. Evolution point +1. Finished eating. It was only then that I noticed Zhao Mengmeng staring at me in shock. And another face that said, I knew this would happen. Next I looked at Zhao Mengmeng. I still remembered this human who had shot arrows at me before. The impression was still there. I deliberately moved a bit closer. A terrifying aura naturally emanated from me. Zhao Mengmeng was so frightened he dropped to his knees. Looking at how scared he was, I found it a bit boring, so I withdrew my aura. Xia Yachu looked at me. And this whole series of smooth operations, he had run out of words to roast me.
He walked over to the almost paralyzed Xiao Mengmeng
And said flatly, Don't be scared. It's my battle beast. He suddenly looked up at Xia Yachu, then glanced at me like a little beast. Xia Yachu didn't say anything else, just turned and left. I followed directly behind him. Zhao Mengmeng stared at the backs of this man and his beast. He felt that Yuncheng and even the entire Grey Xia Empire might be shaken up because of this odd pair. Some waves were bound to rise. On the way back, Zhao Mengmeng couldn't help but move closer to Xia Yachu and lowered his voice. What breed is your battle beast exactly? It's so fierce. One want to raise one too. Xia Yachu glanced at him expressionlessly and casually replied, A gecko. The breed is just a bit unique. That's way too unique though. Guild handover for the cleanup mission. When the staff saw the quantity Xia Yachu submitted, they were clearly stunned for a second.
Especially.
There were even a few lone Wolf leaders mixed in. You completed all of these by yourself? The staff were somewhat incredulous. They glanced at the resource distribution point. The attendant responded indifferently. Final mission settlement. The attendant received 120 points and 600 grade 1 primal stones. He took the primal stones to the guild's internal resource area, bought a large amount of demonic beast meat needed to cultivate the heaven-swallowing demon technique, and grabbed a lot of low-grade primal force alloys along the way. He finally understood. He can't count on me to give feedback. If you don't want me to snatch the good stuff, prepare affordable substitutes in advance. Keep me well fed. Sure enough, after returning to the temporary rental courtyard, as soon as Xia Yachu took out that pile of primal force alloys, my eyes lit up and I lunged. Started devouring everything in sight. Devouring primal force alloys. Evolution points +10. I ate to my heart's content. Found a corner to lie down and start digesting. Master Xia watched me, stuffed and ready to sleep, and shook his head helplessly.
He walked into the Forbidden's chamber himself.
Ready to digest the exploits from this trip, he sat cross-legged, pulled out medicinal ingredients, began channeling the heaven-swallowing demon technique. Though he didn't get to eat the dragon silk fruit, after successive battles, his cultivation bottleneck had loosened. Sure enough, when the technique was driven to its limit, it felt as if some kind of shackle was broken. The bottleneck was breached on its own. Finally advanced a bit, he walked out of the chamber. Found me still curled up in the corner, apparently asleep. This dumb gecko seems about to get stronger again. Just then, a gentle knocking came from outside the door. Yachu, are you there, little sister? Xia Yachu opened the courtyard gate. Wanqing, how come you're here? Su Wanqing replied, I heard about what happened to you. Don't let the gossip in the clan get to you. I believe you have your own plan. She placed a gift box on the stone table in the courtyard. These are some primal stones and pills for cultivation. It's not much, but it's a token of my support. Wanqing, this is too valuable. Su Wanqing held her hand and said, I know the clan cut off your resources. It must be tough for you. But you must walk your own path. I believe you'll create your own future. Xia Yachu stopped refusing. Thank you, Wanqing. I'll remember this favor. That's more like it. If you need anything, just come find me at the Su family. With that, she turned and left. Xia Yachu stared at the resources on the table, silent for a moment. I already awake in the corner, caught some information via Soul Link. Given these offerings, if I run into her in the future, helping her out wouldn't be out of the question. Stop it, that's not for you to eat. In a blink, Xia Yachu looked at the mess all over the floor, and, angry, punched me hard on the head. Then he held his own hand, and silently went to the infirmary. The Pioneer Guild issued an emergency recruitment order. Demonic beasts are rioting in the Blackwing Canyon region. Large numbers of low-level beasts are gathering. Even beast soldier-grade monsters are appearing. Serious threat to nearby trade routes and village safety. All martial artists summoned. Pioneers of 4-star and above must go for eradication. Mission-based reward. 500 points. Additional rewards for beasts killed at different grades. Special contributions earn extra major rewards. Xia Yechu read the notice. A beast riot means a massive concentration of resources. For him, it's a perfect place to cultivate the heaven-swallowing demon technique. For a certain foodie, it's an open buffet, ready to serve. Let's go feast. The first batch of pioneers arrived and saw thousands of frenzied beasts. Everyone went pale. It's a beast tide. A beast tide. Why is there fog? This isn't just a normal beast riot. Frontline, 8 ring archers knocked their bows. We can't let them break out. The pioneers fought desperately, but faced with the endless beast tide, they seemed utterly powerless. People kept falling, torn apart by the frenzied monsters. Xia Lingfeng stood atop the cliff, watching the carnage below. Like a scene from hell. A bunch of losers. They can't even hold off this few monsters. Wasting the guild's resources? They deserve to die. If Xia Yuking was among them, I wish she'd get torn apart by the beast tide. Just as the pioneers suffered heavy casualties, with the defense line about to collapse, 2 figures suddenly appeared. And Xia Yochu. This isn't a regular riot. The beast's eyes have lost all sanity. Only pure madness and bloodlust remain. It's like something forced them into a frenzy. I wasn't bothered at all, and charged headlong at the raging beast tide. Wait, Xia Yachu's outstretched hand froze midair. That dumb Gecko is still so reckless. He knows I'm strong. But this is a beast tide, with beast commander-level monsters inside. His worry hadn't fully grown. When the scene before him left him stunned, I reached the front of the beast horde and casually swung a claw. A clawed monkey tried to pounce and was effortlessly torn in half. Round-shaped nuclear breath blasted out. Whether it was a flame-armored boar at beast soldier entry or a venom-patterned python at beast soldier mid-level, all were melted instantly. Devoured wind wolf got evolution points. Devoured horn monkey got evolution points. Devoured flame boar got evolution points. My body visibly expanded again, and my aura grew more terrifying and deep. Those once crazed monsters instinctively became afraid and started avoiding my area. What kind of beast is that? So strong, he's helping us. We're saved, we're saved. Xia Yechu followed behind me, finishing off stragglers, and used the heaven-swallowing demon technique to quickly boost his own power. After devouring plenty of beast blood and flesh essence, he broke through the 5-star bottleneck with ease. And that's just the beginning. 6-star Origin Master, 7-star Origin Master, kept rising all the way to 7-star Origin Master, finally stopping at the peak, just as Xia Yochu was planning to push through, to break through to 8-star Origin Master. He suddenly frowned and halted. That's the scent of hidden beast incense. Could this beast tide have been deliberately triggered? Meanwhile, Xia Lingfeng, hiding atop the cliff, eyes bloodshot, stared dead at me tearing through the beast tide. And at Xia Yochu behind me, aura surging higher and higher. Even a beast tide of this level couldn't kill him. And what's with that strange war beast? What's going on? Why does he get all the lucky breaks? What the hell is that monster? Down below, I blasted out another nuclear breath, blew up a beast soldier sneaking up on Master Xia, turned it to charcoal, then swallowed it smoothly. Evolution points plus 80. Condition met. Evolve now. I didn't hesitate for a second. A surge of invisible energy storm formed suddenly. Frenzied beasts attacking were swallowed by the storm, became part of the evolution energy. Xia Yochu was closest, forced to keep backing up by the sudden terrifying energy storm. Had no choice but to retreat. This is how I evolve.
To him.
My life force was climbing at an insane pace, but not a trace of power flowed from me to him, my beast master. This stingy bastard. Like a Pixiu, only taking, never giving. The storm gradually subsided, and the dust settled, revealing a brand new figure within. My body length shot up to nearly 1.9 meters, standing taller than Xia Youchu. Just standing there, radiating savage power, caused those berserk monsters nearby to instinctively freeze in place and let out fearful growls. I checked my post-evolution stats panel. Next evolution point needed, 8,000. And this time, I awakened a brand new special skill, Destruction Monarch. This skill came at the perfect time, absolutely tailored for a battlefield like this, swarming with low-level enemies. I turned my head and looked into the distance, where Shiuchu stood in shock and resentment downstream. I threw a dying demon beast soldier, a mid-stage ironback mountain boar.
Downstream.
Right in front of him. He stared at the half-dead boar on the ground, then glanced at me with that look of condescending charity. Her Majesty the Empress. When did she ever need a battle beast to be handed out to her? He took a deep breath and told himself to stay calm. It's not worth getting mad at this dumb gecko. Resources matter more than pride, even for a jerk.
His face dark, he walked up to the mountain boar.
Activated his Devour Heaven Demon skill, and began devouring its life force, seeing Shiuchu fuming and pleased at the same time. In such an awkward way, I couldn't help but snicker inside. Just then, a powerful presence quickly swept over from afar, landing at the edge of the battlefield. At the front was President Zhao of the Pioneer Guild, at the peak of the Garden Realm. Behind him was Xiao Mengmeng, and several other elders of the guild also at the Garden Realm, and elite fighters. As soon as Xiao Meng landed, her eyes locked on me and Shiuchu. Beast Dad. Look, that's the beast that stood out alone. President Zhao's gaze gleamed like lightning, and instantly fixed on me. In all his years, he had never seen such a bizarre and terrifying monster. That Xia family girl is indeed something else. He looked at the never-ending ferocious beast tide. Things were even worse than he expected. If he struck to kill those demons hiding behind the beast tide, the beast tide would lose its suppression and go completely out of control. At that point, the surrounding defenseless villages would pay the price. At that moment, Xia Lingfeng suddenly appeared. President Zhao, the beast tide is fierce. Each moment delayed, more of our brothers fall. Please put the greater good first.
Take action quickly.
And stop the beast tide. President Zhao had to get involved as soon as possible. Only after quelling the tide would he have the chance before the investigation started to erase all traces of his use of beast-luring incense. Otherwise, if they dug too deep, he'd be finished. President Zhao shot Xia Lingfeng a cold glare. He had reason to suspect that this beast tide was closely related to this young master of the Xie family. But now was not the time to investigate. At that very moment, a terrifying aura exploded out, sweeping the entire world. All the demon beasts went weak in the knees, and fell to their knees involuntarily. Xiuchu, having just finished devouring the mountain boar, and breaking through to originate stars, looked on at the scene, utterly shocked. This dumb gecko actually has a skill like this. What exactly is it? Just then, several elite demon beast generals, sensing a challenge, roared and charged at me, facing their ferocious attacks. I only felt a greater fighting spirit ignite. My sharp claws slammed into the giant fist of the diamond ape. Then I whipped my tail, hard at the purple-gold scorpion charging from behind. The scorpion went flying. Everyone there was stunned. Stop spacing out. Absorb as much as you can, quickly. Don't let that crowd steal all the good stuff. Xiuchu was snapped out of it by my telepathic nudge.
He looked at those demon beasts, all unable to resist.
Is this dumb gecko seriously worried we'll lose the kill credit? Of all times, he's worried about getting kill stolen. Xiuchu shot me an annoyed look, then activated his Devour Heaven Demon skill. Running it at full power, a formless suction force spread out from him, enveloping a huge swath of demon beasts. Pure life essence surged toward him like rivers returning to the sea, flowing wildly into his body. His cultivation climbed to the peak of originate stars. Seeing Xiuchu start to devour wildly, I felt more at ease. I needed to pick up my speed too. These demon generals were tough and thick-skinned, with abundant internal energy. It's not easy to take them down quickly. especially that iron feather thunder eagle, still circling in the air, occasionally disrupting with lightning attacks. I need to take one out first. My gaze instantly locked onto the purple gold scorpion. I lunged at it abruptly. The scorpion shot a big cloud of purple venom. I didn't try to dodge. The energy core in my chest started spinning at unprecedented speed, and a dark red glow gathered deep in my throat. A devastating rock element breath blasted out, straight into its open mouth. The scorpion's body quickly broke down, reduced to fine ashes. Devouring the purple gold scorpion gained 800 evolution points, plus 50 strength, plus 60 stamina, plus 30 spirit. Passive skill poison resistance raised to advanced. Now with poison resistance at advanced, it's hard for anything poisonous to threaten me. I turned my head and looked at the diamond ape and iron feather thunder eagle. The two demon generals came to an instant agreement and abandoned all thoughts of pride as overlords. Turning to flee, I grinned widely, showing a ferocious smile, and pounced straight at the diamond ape trying to escape, ripping him apart. The iron feather thunder eagle, seeing its companion gone, went mad and dove at me with reckless abandon. I charged upward to meet the diving thunder eagle, mouth open wide, biting hard at its neck. Devoured the iron feather thunder eagle, earned 820 evolution points, plus 65 agility, plus 55 spirit. At this pace, it won't be long before I can evolve again. The few remaining low-level demon beasts on the field fled in panic in every direction. After a brief silence, there was thunderous cheering. President Zhao stepped forward and gave me and Xiuchu a formal fist salute. I only sent an idea over. Don't forget to settle payment. President Zhao was baffled for a moment, until Zhao Mengmeng quickly whispered an explanation. At that he realized. Rest assured, not a cent of your reward will be shorted.
And
In light of your remarkable contributions in the Beast Tide, the Guild will also grant the highest level special reward. I nodded with satisfaction, ignoring President Zhao, and walked over to Xiuchu. All that eating, just to reach Origin Stage 9 stars. Your technique isn't very efficient. Xiuchu's smile froze instantly. A vein bulged on his forehead. Who are you calling inefficient? If some jerk hadn't hogged all the good ingredients, without leaving me even a scrap, I'd have already broken through to the next rank. If I could have absorbed those 3 demon generals, not just next rank, I'd probably be halfway through the next stage. I replied confidently. I killed the monsters. Of course I get to eat them. You should be grateful for the leftovers. Xiuchu was so mad his chest heaved up and down. You stingy miser. Jupapi turned to help treat the wounded and tally up the loot. This beast tide cost the Pioneer Guild dearly. Almost 100 casualties, including some top fighters. President Zhao's expression was grim. He ordered the intel officers to investigate thoroughly. Who sent the false information? They must pay the price. An hour later, an officer returned with a sullen face to report. President, we found out that an hour ago, young Master Xia Lingfeng showed up nearby. And a brother found this up on the cliff. He handed over a vial containing tiny ashes. President Zhao snatched up the small bottle of musk. High concentration. Xia Yaochu recalled her past life. Xia Lingfeng indeed became famous for quelling the beast riot and gained quite a reputation. At the time, he found it a bit odd. How could someone like Xia Lingfeng suppress the beast horde with his strength? Turns out, it was all staged by himself. He immediately reported this to the city lord's mansion and the inspectorate, and applied for Xia Lingfeng's arrest. I want him to pay for the lives of my fallen brothers. Indeed, but things didn't go as planned. The Pioneers Guild received a reply from the city lord's mansion, and from the inspectorate. The investigation concluded that it was caused by a local thug named Wang Leo. He happened to get his hands on beast-luring incense and used it for revenge against society. He then used the incense to provoke the beast horde. The suspect has committed suicide out of guilt. The case was closed. As for Xia Lingfeng, the inspectorate stated that he just happened to be training nearby and immediately notified the guild upon witnessing the incident. This was considered an act of heroism. He should be commended. Once the results came out, Many pioneers were so furious their eyes turned red. They spontaneously gathered to protest in front of the Xia family's mansion, demanding the real culprit be severely punished. But the Xia family's gate remained tightly shut, with only a few cold-faced guards at the entrance. Get lost, the Xia family mansion is not a place for mud-legged peasants like you to mess around. Keep making noise and you'll be punished for attacking a noble's home. Just then, Xia Lingfeng swaggered out. What's all the noise? A bunch of lowlives. Let me tell you all. In this world, power and connections are what matter. If you have no proof, shut your filthy mouths. Accuse me again, and I'll sue you for slander and ruin your lives. After Xia Youchu heard about this, she stood by the small yard window. Xia Lingfeng, you'll pay for what you did today. I guarantee it won't be with anyone else's help, but with my own hands. I'll seek justice for the dead. He needs to become stronger, strong enough to ignore these filthy rules, strong enough to get justice himself. He looked at Xia Youchu and sent a message with his eyes. Revenge is easy. Let me evolve 2 more times. 1 breath, and I'll level the whole Xia family. A bit brutal, but honestly, it sounds satisfying. Seeing how confident I looked, he suddenly thought that having this bastard around might not be too bad after all. At least the road to the top won't be so lonely. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. All right, I'll wait. On second thought, don't bother. I'll head to the Xia family now. Xia Yaochu was stunned at first, and then her expression changed abruptly. Her figure flickered, and she blocked my way. She lowered her voice and sounded a bit exasperated. Why are you going to the Xia family now? Do you have a death wish? Who said I'm going to kill Xia Lingfeng? I'm going after his battle pet. That golden-haired dog looks pretty fat. Taking a bite for interest isn't too much, right? He looked at my expression and was momentarily speechless. Not after the owner, but after the dog. This line of thought is twisted but clear, yet it sounds strangely doable. In his mind, he suddenly pictured Xia Lingfeng finding his precious pet eaten and freaking out, wailing for his parents. Xia Yaochu couldn't help herself and burst out laughing. He looked at me, with a mischievous smile curling at the corners of his mouth. Seeing Xia Youchu so eager, I nodded in agreement. Xia Youchu took me to a rock garden not far from Xia Lingfeng's yard.
Now,
See those 2 guards at the gate? Both are at the peak martial level. There are also hidden sentries in the yard. I'm not sure exactly where, but there are definitely patrols. I see them. The whole yard is covered by a surveillance array. You handle suppressing the array. 5 seconds will do. All right, I'll suppress it. Once you're in and get the pet, withdraw right away. He sensed the energy field and could clearly see the shield around the yard. I also saw it inside the yard, and the aura from the golden Tibetan Mastiff seemed even fatter than before. I licked my lips. Xia Yachu quietly sent a wisp of demonic energy, silently shooting it at the surveillance array covering the yard. A faint glow. The array flickered only slightly. I slipped in like a shadow, instantly appearing next to the fancy beast's nest, and scooped up the plump golden Tibetan Mastiff, tucked it under my arm, and dashed toward the courtyard wall. Just as I was leaving, I glanced into the main hall, and just happened to lock eyes with Xia Lingfeng. Xia Lingfeng's pupils contracted suddenly.
he jumped from his chair.
And ran to the corner of the courtyard, looking at the empty beast's nest. He was like he'd been struck by lightning. Xia, Mingyuan, and Madame Liu rushed over. My little gold. He took my little gold. What happened? What was that just now? It was Shahuchu's battle beast. He took little gold. Dad, Mom, get it back. I want to skin it and tear out its tendons. Seal off the grounds. We must find that beast for me. Yes, sir. Xia Mingyuan's face was as dark as thunder. The whole Xia estate was thrown into chaos. However, thanks to our knowledge of the area, Xia, Youchu, and I were long gone. It was like we vanished into thin air, melting into the endless night. In the pioneer's residential area, Zhao Mengmeng was still on the steps yawning. Suddenly, 2 figures appeared like ghosts in front of him, startling him. Sister Youchu, Master Shixi. You're back. Then he saw that I had a struggling ball of golden fur under my arm. Xia Yechu made a shushing gesture to him and whispered, "This is Xia Lingfeng's golden Tibetan Mastiff." With that, the three of us went into the yard. "What do you plan to do with it?" "Eat it, of course." The golden Mastiff seemed to understand and was shivering nonstop. Zhao Mengmeng couldn't help but feel a bit sorry for it. Master Shixi? Golden Tibetan Mastiffs are very rare. Killing it seems a waste. That's exactly why it'll taste good. Hurry up. Clean it thoroughly, Xia Yechu reminded me. I nodded, then opened my huge mouth and swallowed it whole. Devoured the golden Tibetan Mastiff cub. Potential, Beast King. Gained 2,000 evolution points. Strength plus 100, Agility plus 80, Stamina plus 120, Spirit plus 60. Acquired passive skill, Golden Bloodline. Acquired Golden Magnetite, King's Treasure. I felt the surging power inside me, along with my new abilities. I was overwhelmed with excitement. This heist was beyond worth it. I tried activating King's Treasure. A light ripple across the energy core in my chest, and a unique energy flowed through my right front paw. By Xia Yechu, the terrifying power within that paw could be clearly felt. What skill is this? This could easily punch a hole in any beast general. I swung my right paw, and a sharp golden arc flashed forth. Nice, looks pretty powerful.